brings a conservative point of view to black issues. His mission: to provide a forum for honest discussions about social issues without the liberal lapdogs shutting down the discussion. Broadcasting from the American Truth Project Studios in beautiful Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. This is Conservative Nation with your host, Jermain Botsio.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Conservative Nation, Double Barrel J's edition. And as you guys know, it is Wednesday. Oh yeah, it is beautiful Wednesday, and I got the one, the only mind of Jamal. How are you doing here, brother?
What's going on, Jermain? How is everything going tonight? How is everybody out there in the audience? And look like we've already started. People showing us love already. Shane Terry.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your kindness and generosity and donation to the page, Shane Terry.
Oh yeah, let's go ahead and give them the customaries.
Thank you. To everybody, let's sit back. Let's sit back, enjoy, like, share. And tonight, we got a bunch of subjects. Some people may get mad. Some people may get happy. But remember, comment. The more you comment, if you disagree, still tell us.
Yep.
We can deal with it. We big boys.
Absolutely. We got a lot of fantastic subjects. We got some subjects close to some people's hearts tonight. You get what I'm saying? And we got subjects that'll make people cry and leap for joy. All right? So we want you guys to hit that like button. We want you to make sure you share. And if you can, throw something in the bucket for us. Help us out, ladies and gentlemen, all right? Absolutely. Brother, let me tell you something. Here in Minnesota, it is gosh darn cold. It's freezing. Ooh. It's like, yeah, it turned 180, the weather, real quick. I'm telling you, folks is wearing sweaters. We're dressed up like we in winter for some reason. So, I'm scared. I'm scared of winter. How about your neck of the woods before we begin?
Well, right now, looking at my weather, it is 22:32 right now. It is 22:32 here on the East Coast. And it is 71 degrees in Durham right now.
Oh, man.
The air conditioning is on here in Durham.
Oh, my goodness.
South.
I'm telling you. See, I need to move. I just do. I just need a, I need to move. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead. Let's get ready to flame. Let's get ready to flame. Tonight's episode, what is it called? Baby Mama Drama is what we called it, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell you something. It ain't nothing but baby mama drama. In November, and we've been speaking about this for a while on this show, about how this, how can I say, entitlement programs, these entitlement programs, they're being cut. America is broke. I don't know if folks know that or not. America is broke. We can't pay for these type of entitlement programs forever. And then on top of that, it doesn't bring us any good, morals to the country. Look at our morals in our country now. And you'll see it later on in this broadcast, the reason why we need to start reforming the way we live. All right? Our lifestyle needs to change. It does. And a lot of folks' lifestyles need to change, and they don't like that. They don't. So that's where we're at right now. All right. I want to go ahead here, ladies and gentlemen, and show you guys a video here. All right. And it's a video that speaks about families facing loss of SNAP and EBT benefits by November. If Congress don't get their act together, I want to go ahead and run this. When it come back, I want to speak about it. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. We need your help. Here we go.
As clients are picking up their monthly food distribution at Pleasant Valley Ecumenical Network in Chestnut Hill Township near Scioto, many are thinking about how they'll feed their families in the weeks ahead. After the Pennsylvania Department of Human Services announced, due to the federal government shutdown, SNAP recipients won't receive benefits on November 1st.
The government shutdown is not fair to everybody. I blame both sides. Congress shouldn't be getting paid. If we go without, they should go without.
It's not good because, you know, I live on a budget. When I'm done with my Social Security check paying my bills, I might have $200 left for the month for food and you know, expenses to get around and, you know, to go to my doctor's appointments.
Director Colleen Walsh says the food pantry is already getting less food due to cuts to USDA programs and loss of funding from Second Harvest Food Bank, which provides a lot of what goes home with clients. No SNAP for 1 month is just another hit.
Some of our families get a couple $100 a month, plus our little bit of food that we can give them just to kind of pad through the month. And if they're not getting those SNAP benefits, I know our food is not going to be enough for them.
SNAP recipients can still use any remaining balance they may have, but many say it's hard to make those dollars stretch at the grocery store.
No Thanksgiving, no getting together. We all have to, you know, macaroni and cheese, hot dogs and beans, you know.
Macaroni and cheese, hot dogs and beans.
My
Gosh
take
darn
them,
it,
you
I
know,
want to
the things that
run.
I don't necessarily use, and there's no more
No
sharing.
wonder why we got cancer
PEN
around here.
feeds 300
Hot dogs
families
and
in Monroe
beans.
County's West End each month, and with the holidays around the
shoot,
corner,
that's
more
called
families
bean
are
wings.
added to the list.
I'm expecting
You take hot dogs,
maybe
cut 'em
we're
up
normally
in
about
cooking
400
beans.
for
It's called
Thanksgiving.
bean
It could be
wings.
450. I really just don't know. It's
That's a
trying to
delicacy.
figure out how many turkeys I need, and you know, just even stuff to get us through the rest of the year. Hopefully this won't last longer than a month, but we also just don't know.
Officials with PVEN are recommending clients seek out other food pantry resources if needed. Emily Kress, Newswatch 16, Monroe County.
Wow. So there you go. It's going to be a tough winter. I can tell you that. It's going to be a tough winter, ladies and gentlemen. As you guys can see here, there's plenty of folks already dealing with the nonsense of just living in America, right? The crazy laws we have here, the crazy folks. And now you see Congress, they're acting up. They're not, well, a lot of the acting up is getting America back in order and getting it straight again. All right. And that's going to take a little bit of, some work. It is. It ain't going to be a smooth deal. And this is the bumps in the road till we get to a better spot. Hopefully. Brother, what do you say about what's going on here first before we go into it?
Well, from the way people are talking and yelling, they usually have start November the 1st. No Nut November.
Yeah, No Nut November. Yeah.
It's gonna be cheek clapping for food.
Yeah. Oh,
November.
yeah, you know it.
November, look, food stamp, no stamp November. No stamp November.
Oh my goodness, you ain't lying about that.
Jermain? After watching people abuse the system when it comes to food stamps and act so entitled, people have lost their empathy and compassion for them.
Yep, they have.
People are sick and tired of watching a woman who husband left her and she got the kids, or husband who wife left him and he got the kids, can't get food stamps, but the welfare hussy
can get all
food
of them.
stamps
Wow.
because she keep having babies. And so America has gotten a little numb. America is sick and tired of these people abusing the system. And as they say sometimes, when people say, well, good people gonna get hurt, sometimes people are to the point where they don't, where you get them all. If some good people fall with it, then it just happens.
Yeah.
And that's the way America is tired. America's tired.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I wholeheartedly agree that America is tired. You just can't get around it. Everybody tired. The rats, the roaches, everybody tired. I want to go ahead here and give a shout out to Kel Bella 823. Donated on, what is this? Oh, donated on Rumble. Says double J's on hump days. Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna give the customaries. You know it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, everybody's tired. Everybody and their mama, absolutely tired. Let me tell you. And when it comes down to it, Jamal, we're talking about a lifestyle. People who are choosing a lifestyle. Now, this video, I want to go ahead and supplement with this. Really breaks down this type of lifestyle and the reason why, some folks got onto this lifestyle. I want to go ahead and run it. When I come back, I want to speak about it. Make sure you guys share. Here we go. Daddy the Government. This is what it's called. Here we go.
They really think that they're independent. Well, how are you independent when you're on Section 8? How are you independent when you have food stamps or WIC or Medicare? How are you independent? No, you are not independent for the black man. Now you're independent for your white boyfriend, Joe Biden, the government. You're dependent because what is the plan? Hey, we're going to take Tyrone out the house. You don't got to worry about Tyrone paying the rent. Here you go. Here's some Section 8. You don't got to worry about Tyrone bringing food home. Here you go. Here's some food stamps. You don't got to worry about Tyrone taking care of the baby. Here's some WIC and some Medicaid. And so they have tricked women into thinking that they're independent when they're just dependent on the government. And at any point in time that white man or that government wants to kick you out of their shit because you ain't clean the house they wanted to, or the fact that you let Tyrone stay over there last night and they found out, they're going to kick your black ass on the street. And all Tyrone wanted you to do was shut up and give him some head every now and then.
Wow. So there you go. There you go. Now, there may be some folks asking, hey, what does this have to do with anything? It has a lot to do with everything. Because when you look at the entitlement programs, especially Section 8, food stamps, the recipients, all right, and it's going to blow your mind. According to Pew Research Center, 88% of the recipients are women. I want folks to get that. 88% of the recipients of these entitlement programs are women, females. The other 12%, children and men. So we're a nation that's taking care of women, which I don't have a problem with. Okay, I don't have a problem with taking care of women. But if that's what we're doing, we at least need to be, honest about it. Because most of the recipients who are getting these type of, benefits are females. And it comes down to babies, right? And the elderly. Mm-hmm. Women having babies out of wedlock, right? It back in the day when there wasn't any. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and ask Jamal. Jamal's a smart man. He is. Jamal, if my name is LaQuanda or Big Bone Mary or LaQuanda, okay, and I got a little promiscuous itch, okay, and I go out there and I see Tyrone. I just heard Tyrone, so I'm going to use Tyrone. I heard Tyrone, he got big muscles. You know, he know how to dance and stuff. You know, I think he looked real nice. And I don't have, you know, how can I say, anything in me to stop me from jumping his bones. So I go and jump his bones. Bingo, bango, I'm pregnant. Jamal, back in the day, if I didn't get married to Tyrone, or if Tyrone said, you know what, you ugly as hell, LaQuanda, I'm gone. Right? Or I can't shut my mouth. You know what I'm talking about. I just can't shut my mouth. And he leaves. Who is there, Jamal, to help me out?
It used to be your family.
Yo, hold on, Jamal. No. I need you to repeat that again, because that's a serious, gosh darn word you just said there. It's what?
Your family. And the church.
That's
what the poorhouse was for. That's what the poorhouse was for. For women, no, the poorhouse was for the widows. The hoes who got knocked up, that's what come over the house after the kids asleep, so I can work, so I can clock in to work on my rent money. See, women who got knocked up and pregnant, see, they had to depend on the family or come after 10 o'clock when the kid is asleep.
That's exactly what used to happen. Family, church, your friends, those are the folks who would help you.
Yes.
Okay? Not random people down the street that you're trying to get money from and you'll never see them again. Not those folks. I hope people understand that. So if this type of behavior is here, this type of lifestyle, you know, we speak about it all the time. It doesn't, you know, bring a lot of morality here to America. It just doesn't at all. Folks act dumb and ridiculous, and we get what we get. And you can see it now. I want to go ahead here, ladies and gentlemen, and show you guys this. Since people have gotten the news that, hey, you know, in November, you know, SNAP, EBT could be gone. And there's some folks, their SNAP and EBTs are already gone. They're claiming they gonna go out there and steal food. Yeah, I kid you not, ladies and gentlemen. They're talking about stealing food. I want to go ahead here and show you guys a couple of videos here of folks who are absolutely upset and mad about what's going on, claiming that, hey, I got my steel toes on. Anybody who come and try to stop me, they're going to get kicked to high heaven. I want you guys to take a look at this. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Here we go.
Donald motherfucking Orange Man J. Trump. I'm gonna tell you just like this. What the fuck you mean? Who ain't getting that goddamn food stamps to goddamn November? Cause I'm getting my goddamn shit. I don't know about the rest of you motherfuckers, but I'm getting my shit. Cause I'm gonna tell you just like this on Jesus Lamar motherfucking Christ. I will be at motherfucking Walmart with my steel toes on and my motherfucking helmet, and I dare a bitch try to stop me from walking out that motherfucking store with my grocery.
Yeah, see, this is why I want child support. I want that to end.
Bulldozer, baby, because that's what the fuck I'm gonna turn into.
Because once you end stuff like this, people like this will be humbled.
Then I get every goddamn month. I ain't bothering no goddamn body. Okay.
Look at her.
Why the fuck is y'all bothering me?
Look at her mouth too is so nasty.
I'm just so tired of his big back, bald head, cradle cap having ass. Shaped like a motherfucking penguin any motherfucking way, albino motherfucking walrus looking ass. I'm sick
Who would sleep with her?
It's gonna be an episode of goddamn Snap if y'all turn them goddamn Snap benefits off. I can tell you that.
Jack off.
Bow. So there you go. There you go. Let me go ahead and stop you here, ladies and gentlemen.
Who ain't getting that goddamn food stamps to
So that's the first one. Beautiful Vegeta background. Let me tell you. Shout out to Vegeta. Ladies and gentlemen, you hear that? She says she got her MF steel toes and she took her kid's helmet. And she says she ready to go. Jamal, who the heck would sleep with this saber-toothed lion right here? This saber-toothed tiger.
Lion, that's a saber-tooth. Man,
this is a gosh darn walrus. Who would sleep with her in her mouth? Her mouth is just nasty.
A lazy man, too lazy to jack off and need a place to stay because his mama done threw him out the house. That's the guy. And before I go any further, Jermain, I would like to thank Miss Christian Walker.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and give her.
And donation to the page through Cash App. Miss Christian Walker. But Jermain, the men that sleep with her are the same men that are having these babies by these different women. This woman is a disgrace. But you want to find out why people say, a lot of black people get mad and say, oh, they talk racist and they believe in racist stuff and white supremacy. This right here says we need white supremacy.
Yeah.
Looking at this video says we need white supremacy. Because this is just downright ignorant. And she's not the only one, y'all. Oh, it's worse and it's more. But this type of woman is the reason we have and need groups that don't want black folk around. I don't want her around. I don't want that woman around me. And I dang sure don't want her around my kids. I would not allow her children to be friends with my children. No. Can we play with? No.
Nope. That's crazy, ladies and gentlemen. And I want you to understand that that's the main reason why I want child support taken away. Because women like her, they don't think about their own future. They don't even think about their children's future. If you're running around, sleeping around with Tyrone, and you're not thinking about, hey, do I have enough money to take care of myself and possibly a baby if I get pregnant? Maybe I should, cover myself up a bit. This doesn't, enter the brain. It doesn't. It's, hey, if I get pregnant, I don't care. The government will take care of me.
Yep.
Literally. And we've gotten to a point in our society because of the way the media is and the culture is and the weak men in this country. And please believe there's a whole bunch of weak men. They don't shame these women. So now it becomes a statement. It becomes a badge of honor. I'm a single mom, and I wear it proud. And this epidemic, ladies and gentlemen, leads to the LGBTQ, BS, and everything else. I want folks to understand. It starts with the family. That's why I'm so harped on the family. I want you guys to take a look at this other one here. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share it. Take a look at this woman here.
I'm going to tell y'all straight up like this. I just got that text that the link is definitely cut the fuck off for November. Y'all better stay the fuck out of my way in these stores. I'm walking out with carts and I'm not paying for shit. Trump, if you want motherfuckers start looting, it's gonna happen. Before my kids go broke in this bitch like Jock, I'm gonna be stealing like it ain't no tomorrow. I am going to go in that store, get everything I get regularly. I'm going to bag my shit up, swipe my link card. As soon as that bitch say, ain't no pending balance on there, I'm going to walk the fuck out. And I'm going to have one of my cousins with me that'll punch your so hard you gonna think a Jet 2 holiday hit your bitch ass if you think I ain't finna walk out this stuff.
Look at
And
them.
please follow me to that motherfucking car. If you feeling
Oh, big
motherfucking
fat
froggy,
heifer.
bitch, you ain't gonna make it back to your motherfucking position at that fucking Walmart store. I'm telling you.
Bow. So she letting you know when she enters that Walmart, and this is in Chicago because she talking about her link card. She gonna start punching folks out. She walking out with shopping carts, and if anybody come up and try to stop her, it's gonna be hell to pay. Jamal, another one. We have another one here. Another black woman. She's upset, angry that, hey, I ain't got no food. Jamal, can I ask you, how come these folks who are sitting here with children don't think about, hey, is it moral for me to get on here and then, allow for these other folks to pay for me when I am fully able and embodied to go to work, but I'm just going to sit back and just hang out and have babies? Is that moral?
No, but don't you notice all these people that's complaining about they mad, they food stamps gonna get cut, salts are overweightiest, blackiest, femaliest, single motheriest?
Yeah.
Don't you notice they're all fit in that category?
Mm-hmm.
And black folk are so quick to say, it ain't black people, it's more white people on food stamps. It's more white people on food stamps. Then why is it always black people that's making these videos?
Yep.
And these videos are the most disgusting. These videos are the most pathetic. Why you begging the white man for something you can do? And Jermain, real quick, they all yelling about cookies and cakes. None of them talking about getting beans, fat back, some biscuits, a little, some hamburger, and making meals. They
Nope.
just want quick snack food.
They want quick snack food because that's what Americans eat nowadays. See, when you're with the government, Jamal, the government don't teach you how to cook.
Nope.
You get what I'm saying? Usually, if you're raised by your mama, a single mama nowadays, most women under 40 don't know how to cook worth nothing. They don't even know how to cook a gosh darn boil some rice. They don't even know how to boil rice, Jamal.
Boil water.
Yeah, they don't know how to do it. They know how to put Tostino's pizza in the oven. You get what I'm saying? They know how to do that, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
They God forbid, they take the time to make some macaroni and cheese. But they know how to make box food. So if you know how to make box food, most of your money is going on box food. If you go and ask a lot of these folks, probably in our stream here, they'll tell you, yeah, you go to our fridge, it's nothing but box food. A lot of folks nowadays, they are not eating natural whole foods, and a lot of the time it's because it's so expensive. The natural food, the good stuff is so expensive, and the crappy stuff that they put all the chemicals and stuff in is cheap. And we're going to have to change the way that we do things here in America. We have RFK Jr., who is speaking about food and the stuff that they put in there. You know how much pushback he's getting just to take dyes out of stuff?
A lot.
I'm telling you, getting rid of red number 40 and all these cancer-causing dyes. He can go through and show these people the list. And America is just filled with money and greed. That when he's showing the list, people don't care. They're like, man, gosh darn it. We need to make money. They don't care about it. And this is where we're at. Now, I want to go ahead here and show you guys one more video. One more, because this one, a lot of folks are sharing it. And then we're going to wrap this up. Here we go.
To take my food stamps, and I'm already struggling, and then you want to take my food stamps and put them in your account. That's crazy. 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 That's c I was depending on my stamp card to reload. This is crazy. Y'all said y'all taking them in November. It's October. My stuff's supposed to upload on October the 10th. And now I'm up here figuring out if I'm going to go to some food banks or the nearest churches that's donating to help our families, because that's what I got to do. This is crazy. I'm already driving an hour and 30 minutes to work. I'm already working over 7 damn different
does she
marketing
need
jobs.
food stamps
I'm already
at her
doing the most,
age?
never
Let me
getting
guess,
to see my
kids.
goddamn child, working my butt off for everybody. You get what I'm saying? And now you take my food stamps for one thing that I can't do to provide for my child, to have
big,
lunch,
black,
home custom
and
lunch,
fake hair.
little snacks and stuff. When I'm not around, when she's with other people that can watch her and stuff, it's just aggravating. My husband need his food for work because he work on the road.
Got a gap
My
so
family
big in the
uses
mouth,
those
got a
food
sign
stamps.
hanging in the mouth.
Seriously.
Next
So I
to
needed
that
those,
way.
and for you to cut them off is crazy. I did all my documents. I was all on
I
my
know I got a
paperwork.
gap in my
You said
mouth.
November, it's October. I'm
You need
just
to put
like,
one in there.
it's just, now I need another job. So if you're hiring, hey, I'm looking to market a business. I don't do 9 to 5s. I can market your business. I can bring you money to your company.
And this should be, Jamal, in a sense, the way she's talking about marketing. And hey, if you guys have a job I'm hiring, this is what folks should be doing. Instead of them saying that, hey, I'm going to be out there trying to steal, do this, that, and the third, they should be doing what she's doing. Sitting here saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to need a second job. Can people point me to whoever is hiring? Can people point me to the nearest food bank? This is how it should be, rather than saying, hey, we're going to try to destroy society. Last words on this here, sir.
You know what, Jermain? Simple and plain. They need to go back to where women, these people, need to know the hardship of having children out of wedlock.
Yeah.
We need to put restrictions on these welfare benefits. You cannot buy sodas and cakes and cookies. Yes, you have to buy things like beans, fat back, buy some eggs, buy some cheese, bologna, bread. They need to put limitations on what they can buy. They need to put limitations on what they can buy because they've gotten out of control. SNAP is supposed to be nutrients to supplemental nutrition assistance program.
Yep.
Not snacks, Debbie's, and all that, which they have abused. The system has been abused, and it's going to take some people being hungry to get it back right.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, if it was up to me, you know, it's very simple. If it was up to me, the folks who would be getting the help, once more again, are women who've been married, who are going through divorce. They've been divorced. Their husband has died or has been killed. Something, okay? But she has to be married first. Folks who are, you know, who have disability and children, that's it. And the elderly. That's it. Other than that, nobody else should be on it. I think it's a crime that they're on it. It is, ladies and gentlemen. The elderly, children, and people who are disabled, and women who have been married. When you do that, you see a better population. Back in the day, and I want folks to understand, folks didn't have that many children like that. It was dangerous having children. I want folks to understand it was dangerous. Families who had 8, 9 children, ladies and gentlemen, usually they're farm families. Families who had money to support their own children. But we live in a society now where it's the total opposite. People with money are having, small amounts of children, where the folks who don't have money are having boatloads. Don't make any sense. How come the rich folks ain't having all these children? Could it be that
Because
the rich
that's-
folks understand what it costs versus the person who is sitting there just living life because, hey, I ain't really got anything going on. Nobody's really checking for me. The best I can do is have a child that will love me. And we gotta tell women that they're worth more than that. Just to have a child to have around like a some sort of doll or some sort of trinket that you carry around to make you feel like you're a person and that person loves you. You're more than that. Let's go ahead and move forward. Next one up here, ladies and gentlemen, I want to go ahead here and speak to you about a video that is, let me tell you, going through the net like wildfire. All right. And it's called An Average Day in Minneapolis. Shout out to the folks that live in Minneapolis. Shout out to Kristen Walker. Kristen Walker will really get, a kick out of this video here. All right. I want to go ahead and run it. When it come back, I want to speak about it because this is what happens in a lot of liberal cities across America. And it's the main reason why we're fighting so hard trying to get folks to understand we got to change. We have to. Here we go. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share.
This is an average day in Minneapolis. I wake up at 8 a.m. to the Islamic call to prayer. After that, I step outside and run into my neighbor handing out literature.
This basically explains why capitalism is basically bad, actually.
At 9 a.m., I try to go out for breakfast, but all the restaurants are out of business. I guess I'll just have to settle for some camel milk. After that, I get ready for my daily protest. I'm not sure what we're fighting for today, but I know I'm angry. At 11 a.m., I help out my neighbor with rent.
So basically, I need money because of oppression and stuff.
Around 12, I eat a healthy lunch at Matt's, and then I make sure to stay properly hydrated
Matt's
for the rest
bar.
of the day. At 2 p.m., I look at the new Minnesota state flag. Wow, what an interesting design. And around 5 p.m., I get robbed. And after paying my state income tax, I get mugged.
So basically, give me all your money.
At 9 p.m., I head to a completely dead downtown Minneapolis where the only bar open is the Hewing. I order one cocktail for $25. It's nice to live in a state that has California prices but Midwest weather and opportunity.
Wow. Did you guys see that? Yeah, that's what it's like living in Minneapolis. Yeah, Minneapolis used to be so bright and vibrant. Beautiful city, let me tell you. Now it's crapola. Yeah, and nothing but young black and brown gangs ready to rob you. Most of the stores there have closed down for fear of being robbed. Ladies and gentlemen, I kid you not. Nothing but protests and police harassing you. Yeah, it's just it's not a good place. Jamal, what do you say to this here? This type of city. Do you think that it will go back anytime soon, or what do you say to that? What do you think about it?
No, I'm not one of these type of conservatives that's going to tell you, yeah, we're going to get them back. All they got to do is see. Jermain, all these people got to do is just see that liberals are tricking them. Stop it. Conservatives, if you have told somebody that lie in the past month, stop it. These people know exactly what the Democrat Party doing, and they want to do it.
Yep.
They want to destroy the city. If we were actually living with a king, if Donald Trump actually wanted to be a king, he would have been sit someone down there to disband that council in Minneapolis and arrest the mayor. But we're not. These liberal Democrat trash hellhole cities are a problem. And they suck the money dry from people. So no, Donald Trump ain't wrong. This and Minneapolis was a beautiful city. The Minnesota Twins, Kirby Puckett.
Yep, Kirby Puckett. You better believe it.
Okay, but look at it now. It's a shame and it's a disgrace. This is what liberalism gets you. Liberalism builds nothing but destroys everything. Remember that, y'all. Liberalism builds nothing but destroys everything.
Absolutely. Everything it touches. And they would tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that this is progress. That's exactly what they'll say. They'll say, well, this is progress. This is what it should look like when the melting pot of Minneapolis gets together and blah, blah, and blah, blah. This is a destitute war zone, ladies and gentlemen. It's not good at all. Not good at all. And this is, a microcosm of what could happen here in the United States, the whole United States, if we don't get a hold on this type of nonsense, right? And it all boils down to the beginning, the family. It really does. Now, I want to go ahead and move on. All right, I want to get into this debate about black fatigue and white rage. Now, this has been something that, how can I say, has popped up in the last probably 2-3 years. Black fatigue has been around for a while, but this white rage has really popped up. It's creeped up in the last 2-3 years, and I want to speak about it. I want to go ahead first and show you guys this video. It deals with Steven Crowder, okay? And he's sitting back and speaking to a group of black men in a barbershop and asking them about black fatigue. And what they're saying is pretty interesting. I want you guys to take a look at it. And when it comes back, we shall discuss it. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. Here we go.
You guys heard the term black fatigue? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You guys know what that means?
Since the last time you came, that's become a thing.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's just become a recent thing.
And do you know what it means?
No, I'm not sure.
I'm going to ask that.
It's a term that's being used by people in the white community, by and large, again, saying they feel like they've been victimized and they're tired of taking that shit. That was a girl who was dying alone in public. And that was a guy who was let out 14 times. 14 times, including violent crimes, in the name of racial justice, right? He didn't have to post bail. He didn't have to appear back in court. This is not the first time he's assaulted someone.
How do we know that was in the interest of racial justice as opposed to just being
because the judge said it.
A fucked up attempt at justice, period.
Yeah.
Like, the legal system has its flaws.
Yeah.
And people have been making complaints about that for decades, right? But that's just, to me, that's a mental health thing more than it's a black and white thing.
Well, I'll tell you why, because white people are saying it now.
Right.
Not just white people are saying, hey, we're in
what makes it a bigger thing.
Well, because, white people are 12 times as likely to be killed by a black person than the other way around. I'm just going to shoot you straight. It's not even close.
Where?
Across the country.
Where? Not in
the United States. I mean, we're not talking about Ghana.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, in white communities or in quote unquote so-called white communities,
across the country, the rate is a black man or person, because most murders men. There are very few female murders. 12 times more likely to kill a white person the other way around. And then you look at the average amount of times that someone in this country is arrested before they're brought in for killing, charged with murder. Do you know how many times they're arrested on average before they murder? 11 times.
Once again, the justice system's got its flaws, and people have been complaining about that for years. We spend more time trying to fix that than trying to complain about the white versus black of it all.
Well, I think, just like I was trying to listen to all communities last time, I think this is something that's unavoidable. If this community, if enough white people get pissed off, they're going, look, we're living in New York now, we're getting killed in record numbers, or Detroit, 12 times the rate. And our system, 3 strikes in California, right? That was a 3-strike policy. The reason that was changed, they said it was racist. Crime went down in black communities 30%. But now people are looking at their cities going, this is a fucking hellscape. And the murder is skyrocketed because people said in the name of racial justice, like 3 felonies, you're out.
Because crime is crime, right? But crime is usually going to be higher concentrated in areas where there's high poverty. So typically the areas that's high poverty in this country are areas with people with this color skin. So that's why you're going to have that. That's why I said those numbers could be skewed and made to manipulate to look like, oh, yeah, that's why I said
not at 12 times the rate.
In suburban neighborhoods, white people are not in danger. And that's what this kind of fear-mongering tells them, is that you're in danger because you're 12 times more likely to get killed by a black person. You live in fucking. Ain't nobody coming after you. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody tripping on you. But these people just as scared as the other folks.
They are if they get on a bus.
Not necessarily.
They are if they get on a train.
That lady wasn't in danger because that man was black. That lady was in danger because that man was crazy.
Nope.
That man was mentally insane.
But why was he back on
family members? He had his own family members call the hospital to try to get him committed. He told his sister he killed that woman because he thought she was trying to read his mind.
Yep. Why was he let out, though? And I'm not saying it's because he's black.
Yeah,
I'm saying people look at it, though. The judge said
part of black fatigue.
He's insane, right? We agree.
That's not a black and white issue.
He was deemed not fit to stand trial, right?
Right.
Now,
should
the
have been
IOU
institutionalized.
Right. The IOU policy, meaning you don't have to pay bail. You don't even have to stay here until you're actually convicted. You just say you'll come back.
Right, which is messed up.
Wow. So there you go. Brother Jamal. Now, Steven Crowder said a lot here. He spoke about black fatigue. He spoke about, what racially happens to white people in the country. And it seemed like, these black folks, they didn't really care too much. Nope. They said instead of him worrying about black versus white, he should be more worried about the justice system. What do you say to that?
That's the same tired, daggone excuse black people give. Black folk don't want to accept the responsibility of our community. We love to brag about, oh, this is good when a black person is the first to do this, but we want to try to dismiss the negativity. Our community, you have to weigh it out, the good and the negative. And right now, in its current condition, the negative outweigh the positive in the black community. Nobody will walk down a majority black neighborhood with the $100 bill sticking out of his pocket. I can walk around my neighborhood where I'm in right now with the $100 bill hanging out of my pocket because I'm in a majority multiracial neighborhood. Okay? They're not a bunch of teenagers running around hanging out on the block. Black folk always come up with excuses about our failures and immorality and depravity. That's what we do. We're always trying to blame something other than what we've done. This is our fault. We allowed this stuff to happen. And Steven Crowder was 100% right. And nobody wants to talk when it's a black person who was released because someone had compassion for his color. Because they saw he was a black person, and most likely he's been through the criminal justice system, so he needs a break. What do black people do when the criminal justice give them a break? They take it as another chance to go commit another crime. And usually more heinous.
Absolutely. Another chance to commit another crime. These black folks, when he brought these things up, and he was genuine and sincere with what he was bringing up as well. He's trying to portray that white folks are generally, they're tired and they're scared. A lot of them are scared. And it has to do with more of the culture, more of the media, the culture, than sitting here and talking about, it's just, we need to just worry about the justice system. And all that is a distraction from what's going on. Instead of black folks to say, you know what, I can understand what you're saying. Our culture kind of promotes the I hate white folks mantra. A lot of the time, black folks are getting out because of, quote unquote, this race-based theory that they got, and we can understand the reason why these things are happening and come up with good solutions to, combat this. But we're not going to get anywhere doing stuff like that. Really, we're not, because a lot of black folks, they just don't care, and I think that white folks don't understand that as well. These black folks, they just don't care about it. They just don't care. A lot of this can be taken away. A lot of the crime and things of this nature can be taken away through legislation. And I'm letting you know it can be, just like how crazy it is now through legislation. We can have a cap on it through legislation by being open. Now, I want to go ahead here and play for you guys a video. Now, this portion right here is something that is very serious. All right, it deals with a guy by the name of Nick Fuentes. All right, Nick Fuentes, in my personal opinion, I believe he's a distraction. And I also believe that he's sent to cause dissension in the conservative party right now. I believe so wholeheartedly because of the things he is saying. All right, and it's something that you don't want to be a part of. You just don't. Because of the type of tensions we've had in this country and what it will bring. Let me just go ahead and play it first. It's called The Meaning of MAGA. All right. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. Here we go.
Okay, we are white. We are Christian. We all know what we mean when we say make America great again. Look, America sucks now. Why? Too many immigrants, too liberal, too gay, too feminist. What does make America great again? We want to bring back, we want to restore the country from like the 80s or before. And no, that doesn't mean we want to bring back slavery and Jim Crow and the Ku Klux Klan. But it means we're tired of seeing white people stabbed in the neck for no reason. We're tired of Israel dominating our politics. We're tired of HR coming down and breathing down the necks of everybody for making jokes or acting like men. Okay, so Walsh and Vance understand this. Directionally, this is how we identify. We are traditional Americans. We are white, we're Christian, anti-immigration, anti-feminist, conservative temperamentally. We want the country to look more like it did a few decades ago. And there are people that want us dead for this. There are probably millions of Americans that think that we are Nazis for believing that, because we believe in God, because we believe in America, because we believe in the white race, because we believe in patriarchy. They believe we are Nazis, and Nazis always do holocausts, so they have to kill us to prevent genocide. And that's what millions of left-wing people believe. And they will incite violence against us. And when it happens, they'll deny it. They'll look the other way. They'll cover it up. When they get in power, they'll systematize the violence. They'll take our guns away. They'll take the police away. They'll bring Section 8 in your neighborhood. They'll bring immigrants by the millions every year. It's like, so Vance and Walsh understand the score here. We're fighting for our lives. We're fighting for God. We're fighting for our country. Yes, we're fighting for our race.
Wow. So, first one in white rage. Nick Fuentes. He says America has too many immigrants, too many gays, too many feminists. This is what's wrong with America. It speaks about the white race. Jamal, what do you think about what he said here?
Honestly, you can't knock him. You can't blame him. He has every right to feel the way he does, because if that had been somebody black and you substitute the word white for white people getting tired, for black people get tired, it would be okay. I never forget when George Floyd, St. George Floyd, The fentanyl, meth like that. This shit. When George Floyd passed, every time you turn around, somebody was on radio, TV, or somebody was making some black folk tired, black people tired of this, black people tired of that, black people this, black people that. And that's all we were all we saw. When Joe Biden was in office, we was tired. Black people tired. Black people tired. Well, you know what? It's about time white folk done said, well, you know what? Since you always making videos how you can't stand us, you're always making videos how we can't do something right, it's about time someone stand up and say it. I have no problem with what Nick Fervin says. Do I listen to him? No. But what he said right here, he has a right, and I know why it happened. That's why I'm not going to condemn it. How many black folk done sat here and killed people repeatedly, stabbing on the train? Then you had another one down there in South Carolina where he raped and murdered a teacher. Then you had the same thing happen in Memphis, Tennessee. Then you had it in Baltimore. How many white families and people been victim to black thuggery? So, do you blame Nick for saying that? No, I do not. This is turnabout. It's fair play. They allow blacks to do it. You got to allow Nick to do it.
Absolutely. You know, I understand what he's saying. I totally understand what he's saying. I just have a problem with people following him in a sense, because when the way that he is saying it, okay, you can say things a myriad of ways, but the way that he is saying it, black folks in this country and minorities, they are so race and color conscious. If they even hear stuff like this, it becomes a very hard selling point to bring them over. You get what I'm saying? It really does. When you have a person like Nick Fuentes with his with the rhetoric he has, even though he has the right to have that rhetoric, and a lot of stuff he's saying, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and refute it, but it's the way that he's saying it which will turn off those minorities that we may need, especially when it comes to voting. Now, I want to go ahead here and play this next video here in White Rage, and I want you guys to listen to what he is saying, because there's tons of videos out there, and I think there's a sector on the internet of White Rage that hasn't been tapped into. All right, and I've been tapping into this sector, and let me tell you something. There's so many. I want you guys to take a look at this one here.
People gotta check this out. I'm just gonna come right out and fucking say it. I don't want nothing to do with being your neighbor. I don't want you in my neighborhoods. I can't even shop at the same stores you guys are at, because every single thing you're ever involved in becomes either dangerous or at best a complete pain in the fucking ass. Think about it. You can't even go grocery shopping. Like I said, why? Because as soon as you try to enter the building, what do we see? We see a gaggle of you motherfuckers intentionally standing in front of the entrance, smoking your weed, being a pain in the ass, because you want to get mad at everybody that gets irritated that they can't get around you, when it's you who are starting the fucking problem intentionally. I don't want nothing to do with this. Then we get inside, and what do we see? We see you motherfuckers walking around like it's your own personal living room, yelling to each other back and forth across the entire fucking store, hooting and hollering. Then what do we see? We see at least one of you motherfuckers screaming at another one of you motherfuckers getting ready for a fight. Whether you're screaming at a cashier, at a friend of yours, you're screaming at a
exactly the
custodian
people
or a
he's
shelf
talking
stocker,
about.
you're always screaming at somebody.
Yeah.
Then we get up to the cash register, and well, it's going to take more fucking time, because we've got more fucking altercations on our hands, because something rang up for 10 cents more expensive than it said on the shelf, and now it's a problem. There's no patience being exhibited. No, it's not like, oh, I understand things happen. go ahead and take care of that. No, it's, I can't believe you motherfucker, you're costing me my day. You know how precious my time is. You know how important I fucking am. It's all this bullshit.
He's not lying.
Yeah,
Leave the
we
fucking
gonna
store, we go
speak
back
about
into
it.
the
Yeah, I know
neighborhoods,
you
and what do
ain't.
we see? We see you motherfuckers taking over street after street after street with your shitbox cars, your fucking block parties, your fucking loud hooting and hollering that goes on all night. Every single fucking night.
Boy, this is what you call
at 2 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday when
being
people are trying to go to
tired.
sleep so they can go to work tomorrow, and you don't give a fuck. No, in fact,
Boy,
you don't give so, you get
a million
so many
white
less
folks will
fucks
probably
about
co-sign
anything
what he's
that you
saying.
invite more people, so now we got all these random people cruising
Shit,
through.
I do.
Got all these fucking altercations happening in the street because you guys have zero ability to handle any sort of conflict in any other method than physical violence. It has to be violent, has to be loud, and it has to be your way. What the fuck makes you think I or anybody else wants to deal with any of this? And on top of all this, you hate me and my people with a greater passion than we've seen in fucking eons for any sort of hate.
This
of
is
any
just a
sort of
rant.
people.
Somebody that's
Why
fed
would we
up.
want anything to do with this?
Can't blame
Now,
him. He's fed up.
That all being said, I will have you notice, I did not once mention a color of people, a demographic of people, a culture of people. I didn't mention any sort of identifying factors except behavior. And based on that, everybody fucking knew I was not talking about white people.
Wow. He said based upon that, everybody knew I wasn't talking about white people. He's absolutely correct. He's absolutely correct. You know, I was having a conversation with some guys, and, you know, they got mad and upset at me. I said if black folks were so good, all right, when people see black folks, they would say, oh, my goodness gracious, it's black folks. Thank God my day is going to be so great.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? People would say that when they see blacks. They don't do that, though. They say, they do the other. And when I started doing that, these black guys were laughing. And I said, why are you guys laughing? They said, we know what you're doing. And I said, yeah, you know what I'm doing because you know what I'm saying is correct. And this is exactly where we're at. What do you think about what he just said? He never said a color. He just spoke about behavior, Jamal. And based upon behavior, what demographic do you think he was speaking about?
Jermaine, before we go further, you got somebody that donated named Diggy.
Oh, yeah.
L777. All right. They said Kathleen Miles walking home from work with a friend. She was randomly assaulted by Black William linguist. And Jermaine, after 2 months, is gone viral. Sent to your brother Flaming.
I'll definitely check it out. Shout out to Diggy L77. Let me go ahead and give you the custom name.
All right. Jermaine, you can't get mad at the truth. White people for the past 20 to 30 years have been overly passive toward blacks. White people have been overly passive toward blacks. They have allowed black people to get away with stuff that in the 50s and the 60s and in the 40s they wouldn't have done. A lot of this stuff in the community would not have done with the shootings and the murders and stuff like that. White folk would have came to the black neighborhoods, grabbed some of them boys who was doing it and put them somewhere and take them somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And would have calmed the neighborhood down. Let's go and tell the truth. And with these people acting like that and they're bringing up stories. Don't get mad at the messenger. Nick Fuentes is the messenger from white America. We're sick of your shit.
Yeah.
We're sick of your shit. And they don't want them there. They don't want living beside blacks. They know eventually, as they say, the nigga gonna come out.
Yeah. You ain't lying about that. You know, eventually it'll come out. Now, you know, and what he said, ladies and gentlemen, You can't get around it. It's the truth. It is. It is. It is. And if you go ahead and speak to a lot of black folks, they would agree with you. They would. But it's a cultural problem. All right. And a lot of this cultural problem literally can be solved by fixing the family. You know, a lot of these folks, they don't know how to act and they behave that way because they ain't got nobody to teach them. I want you guys to understand something here as well. Now, there may be some folks out here who can understand what I'm saying. In 2013, my father died. Before he died, I had a lot of direction in my life. Let me tell you. I'm a guy that, how can I say, I progress. I do really well when it comes to strict structure. Okay. And I blame my father for that because he gave me strict structure when I was growing up. He was an African. You get out of line, he bringing out that belt, he bringing out that chancleta. For folks who know what a chancleta is, right? He bringing out his sandals, right? Yeah, he'll take off that sandal, wipe that dust off that sandal, and whoop your ass with it. So I had to make sure that I did what was right. Okay? I had to make sure that I did things so that, you know, I didn't get my ass whooped. And in turn, those things, you know, instill good morals in me and maybe excel in life.
Yep.
When he passed away, it was like I didn't know what the hell was going on. Still to this day, with everything that I've accomplished, all the property that I have bought myself, all the things that I have accomplished, I'm still lost. I want folks to I don't know what to do. I go and ask my mom. My mom don't know. She can't help me because she hasn't been a man in my seat before. She hasn't been a man, period. The person who I can ask is gone. And when I don't have that, my direction is like this. Well, it's more straight because, you know, I've always had that good direction. But I can understand if I didn't have him growing up, I would be lost. Because I wouldn't know what the hell to do. And my mom, she's a very good mother, but there's only so much she can do. And when it comes down to discipline, she couldn't really whoop me. You know, she whooped me a couple of times and I laughed. Yeah, literally, she whooping me and I'm laughing.
Oh, no, you got the belt worse.
Yeah, I got it from my dad when he came home, but my mom, she will whoop me with everything she could. And it changed me. You see the way I'm smiling now. She'll tell you. She wanted to whoop that smile off me. Yeah. So it's imperative that we have good families here. Now, I want to go ahead here and play you guys this last clip. Last clip in this segment called White Rage. I want you guys to take a look at this. Another Nick Fuentes clip. I want you guys to see what he's saying here. Here we go.
The reason young white men have it bad is because we're being racially replaced in our own country. That's why. Because we are being fucked by free trade, mass migration, feminism. You know, we do have an elite. They do run our society. They have the power. And with that power comes the responsibility. Free trade, it didn't work. Mass migration, turning America into a melting pot, the best and brightest, it didn't work. Our cities got worse. The country got more liberal. We became alienated. It didn't work, and it's your fault, and it needs to change. And now the young white men are saying, I think we've identified the problem. No more immigration. Now they're going to come to us and tell us, well, what we really need is a colorblind meritocracy. You just need to pull yourselves up by your bootstraps and vote Republican. This is what they fear. They fear the rage of the peasants. They fear the rage that I represent, the righteous indignation. And now as a result, we're all saying we're out. We're done. Okay? Yeah, we're not doing the Republican thing anymore.
Bow. You heard what he said. He said that there's a whole bunch of white men like him, or, who are going to be out. They've identified the problem. This is what he's saying. He's saying that it's immigration. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to DGL77 again. It says, Jermain, Jamal, here go another white lib trash to say to win some serious. Go back to Haiti and the N-word. Yeah. And at a football game, making it viral, fire his ass at his job. Hold on. Yeah, absolutely correct. I heard that story. I heard it. Jamal, here we go again. He's saying that white folks have, found out what the problem is. White folks are upset. They angry. Immigration. They're done. He said the melting pot theory didn't work. Immigration is part of the problem here in America. What do you say to that?
All you can say is this man is coming from a position of he's tired. He's tired. He's pissed. He's tired. He's pissed, and he doesn't care. It's like when someone black tells you that they're mad, they're pissed, they're sick and tired, they're tired of the system doing this and doing that to black people. People like, oh, okay, let them have his space. We understand. We're trying. That's what they tell people. But when it's someone white that says we're fed up, we're tired, oh, you just mad because minorities are finally catching up and they're working hard and getting equal to you. That's what they do to people, and it gaslights them and drive people crazy. Nick Fuentes said what he said because he was trying to grab the people whom he was talking to. That's what he did. And the video just shows, hey, come here, don't go to those liberals because we're fed up and we're tired. We're safer in numbers. That's what he's saying to me. Jermain? I can't hear you.
It's the other way. All right, I'll shut up.
No. Kristen. Yeah. Can you repeat what you said? I got you online. I want you to just, because what you said is very important, and I want folks to hear you.
Yes, I'm happy to do that. What I said was that you have men and women. When you have a marriage, the man is the head of the household. That's the way it goes. And if it doesn't go that way, it ain't gonna work. And that's what's wrong with our society. Women will not acquiesce to their men. And some men, unfortunately, perhaps aren't very kind to their women. But I'll tell you what, that wasn't my experience. My parents loved and adored one another. And because of the way they treated one another, and I saw that, that's how I learned to be the woman I am today.
Absolutely.
My father and mother respected and adored one another. You know?
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way it was.
Absolutely.
And yeah. And if I even thought to talk back to my mother, my father would shoot me a look like, don't you dare. And the same thing with my mother.
Absolutely.
And,
you know,
Jermain,
go ahead. Okay.
Well, no, I wanted to say one more thing.
Yeah, say one more thing here.
When I was in college, my parents divorced, and it was very painful for me. It was tragic. I hated it. 5 years later, they remarried, and they stayed married the rest of their lives. But in that 5-year period where they weren't married, where they had divorced, if I said something to my father about my mother and said something bitchy, he'd say, you shut your mouth. That's your mother.
Yeah.
I won't listen to that from you. And guess what? Same thing with my dad. If I said it to my mother, well, Daddy did this and she'd say, shut up. That's your father.
Absolutely. You know, Kirsten, thank you for calling here.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah, that's the way it should be. And I think that, you know, if we had more of that here in America, a lot of this BS that is going on, you wouldn't see it at all. You know, my parents were married for about 37 years before my father died. So, you know, I got to see how, you know, a good marriage took place. I got to see how, you know, a provider acts and behaves, how he cares for his wife and the folks around him. You get what I'm saying? And nowadays, guys don't have that type of example around. And that, since the example isn't around and the women haven't seen that, they don't know how these things are supposed to interact and work with each other. You get what I'm saying? And from there, that's the reason why we have all this type of BS going on.
But no, honey, I agree with you. But the worst of it is the women are acting like whores.
Yeah, and that's another one. It is.
That's a whole other thing.
It is.
The men folk, we kind of expect them to play around and do whatever. I mean, well, I shouldn't say expect, but yeah, I should say.
Oh. Yeah,
not the females.
Not the females, well, sweetheart. I'm gonna have to let you go. What we're gonna do next week, you know, and I have it already set up. We're gonna have, you can ask Jamal. We're gonna have folks call in, I should say, the last probably 10, 15 minutes of the show, and then we'll get a lot of folks like you calling in, and then we can discuss, because I know a lot of people like to call in and speak with me as well. So I just wanted to say thank you.
That's not my thing. All right, to call in, that's not my thing. But when you and Jamal were talking, I was just like,
yeah, see, a lot of folks want to call in and speak with us. So,
well, yeah, because that is why we're so effed up as a society.
Mm-hmm. It is.
I mean, Jermain, listen, you're okay.
Sweetheart. I can talk to you all night. Let me go ahead. Yeah, let me go ahead and finish this off, and then you hit me up, I'll hit you up. We'll talk.
Honey.
All right, sweetheart.
Love you.
Yep, love you too. Bye-bye. All right. The reason why, in a sense, ladies and gentlemen, we are speaking about Dick Fuentes, and will end our White Rage segment here, is because when you hear this type of rhetoric, even though he is, in a sense, correct in his feelings, he's valid in what he is saying, in a sense, it's the way that he is saying it. And I know the way black or brown people think here in America, they're very sensitive. All right, they're very, 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 very sensitive when it comes to color, and especially when it comes to white folks speaking about color. And when you have him speaking in this manner, even though he's correct, it puts off a lot of black and brown folks. And one of the things here in America that we're trying to do is bring these people over, all right, and trying to have them see and be able to understand what being a conservative is, the philosophy, and the reasons why it's a better ideology for America and, you know, in a sense for yourself and your family. We're not able to do that in a sense if we have folks like him who are propped up on the base who are speaking like this. Because if you just have them speak like this, you know what liberals are doing? They're using his clips and saying this is the people in the conservative movement. This is the way they think and this, that, and the third. And when you have that, you have people who are pitted against each other, and you have nothing but division that, you know, never ends. And we want to bring folks together. Last words on this here, sir, before we move on.
You know what, Jermaine? I always say this, and I go and I say this. How come Democrats get to keep their crazies, but Republicans have to always get rid of theirs?
Yeah, I know. I know.
Everybody's saying this about Nick Fuentes and how he talked,
yeah,
but they still got Jasmine Crockett. Everybody say how he talked, but they still got D.L. Hughley. Everybody's saying how he talked, but you still got Roland Martin. Everybody's complaining about what Nick say, but you still got other black race hustlers like Don Lemon and other people like that who say the most racist black nationalist crap. But the Democrat Party don't have to answer for that. But soon as Nick Fuentes say something and he says something that defends whites, the Republicans have to disown
him. Yeah, I know.
And that's wrong. And people aren't playing those games. That's why Nick Fuentes is saying what he's saying. Those days of walking on eggshells are over.
With
time for it to been over. If the Democrat Party don't have to get rid of their crazies, perfect example real quick, Jermaine. I just need 15 seconds.
Go ahead,
Everybody
brother.
was talking about those young Republicans and that those messages, but you just had a Democrat that's running for state senator in Maine had the skull of the Nazi SS chest. And that's another state. That's another state. That's what Democrats say. Well, that's Maine. I'm not in Maine. But when it's a Republican, Republicans got the answer for all Republicans. People are sick of it. They're tired of it, and they don't care. That's why Nick Fuentes is doing good right now.
Yeah, it was the main Democrat. Yeah, I remember reading on the story. Yeah, it's the main Democrat. They were trying to say he was a secret Nazi. Yeah, that's what folks were saying. He was a secret Nazi. Apparently, he say he's not a Nazi. He's not a Nazi though.
He literally had a tattoo.
Yeah, he just got the tattoo apparently. Yeah, you know. You're absolutely correct. Yeah, they get to keep their crazes, and it's almost as if we got to get rid of ours. And the reason why I think that is because of the history that we have here, and the way they have positioned the media, and you know, it's just a terrible thing. It's like you're playing, you know, you're in a war. You know, and you're looking at the pieces and they are what they are, you know. So it is what it is. Let's go ahead and move forward. I want to speak to you guys about the millions that protested nationwide for No King's Day. All right. I want to go ahead and run this one and come back. I want to speak about it. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Here we go.
Organizers say more than 7 million people gathered at nearly 3,000 events across the country over the weekend for No Kings rallies in a largely peaceful show of force against the Trump administration's policies. That's 2 million more people than the first No Kings Day back in June. Protesters flooded streets, squares, and parks in both big cities and small towns, chanting "No Kings in America" and carrying signs with slogans like "Democracy, not monarchy" and "Make America Good Again." In Boston, organizers say more than 100,000 rallygoers convened at the historic Boston Common, America's oldest park. In Washington, D.C., protesters, including federal employees, filled the streets near the U.S. Capitol as the government shutdown remains in effect. In New York City, people stretched for many blocks, with rallies spanning across all 5 boroughs. The protests were overwhelmingly peaceful, with many participants wearing costumes like the unicorn that I believe Jacob Soboroff interviewed. They were waving American flags. They were dancing. All this despite Republicans referring to the events as Hate America rallies in recent days. Many elected officials and public figures joined protesters at these rallies, slamming the Trump administration and celebrating the day's events.
We are here for the same reason our ancestors gathered here in 1776. We want our government to run without a king. Our government is based on ideas embodied in the Constitution. Among other remarkable features, it guarantees our freedom to speak, as we're doing here today. Rather than doing one monarch's bidding, we have agreed to form a democracy, to work together, and to follow the laws that derive from it. No thrones, no crowns, no kings.
Tyranny requires your fear, your silence, and your compliance. Democracy requires your courage. And tyranny depends on good people doing nothing. It requires us to accept the unacceptable, to rationalize the irrational, to normalize the abnormal. But tyranny also fails when ordinary people refuse to cooperate, when they say no kings and they mean it.
Mike Johnson, the Republican Speaker of the House, called these rallies Hate America events. Boy, does he have it wrong. Millions of Americans are coming out today not because they hate America. We're here because we love America.
And speaking of the Speaker of the House, Johnson doubled down.
I'm going to stop it right here. So there you go. They call it the No King's Day protest. As you guys can see, Mike Johnson called it the Hate America protest. Man, oh man. Brother, what do you say about this here?
You know what, Jermaine? I look at this and it's funny. Hearing them talk about history. Aren't we told that the white man didn't write the Declaration of Independence and Constitution for the black man? And that's what we told.
Yep.
Aren't we sat here and told that America's an evil and destitute place, so it's nothing to brag about? They're not being proud. How can you one time say you ain't proud to be an American, but then when it suits, then you say you are proud to be an American? And one thing about all these No King rallies, they happened. If that Donald Trump was a king, those rallies wouldn't have happened. And you get tired of people acting like this was huge. How many people voted for Kamala Harris? 47 million. 7 million of them decided to participate in a I don't like Trump rally. Big deal. Whoop-de-doo. You didn't show up when it was needed the most.
This rally here, and it's crazy. They got Bill Nye, the science guy. I thought he was smart. You know, I thought Bill Nye was smart. You know, back in the day when I was growing up through the school, you used to show his videos all the time, Bill Nye the Science Guy. I didn't know that he was dumb like that. Did not know. He must be getting paid by somebody. I can tell you that. I want you guys to take a look at this video here from the No Kings protest. A lot of people are sharing this, and I want you guys to see it. It's about a young lady. I forgot what her name is. She interviews some folks speaking about Charlie Kirk at the protest. I want you guys to listen to what they're saying about Charlie Kirk. Here we go.
Members. Whatever his name was?
Charlie Kirk, ma'am?
Yeah, him is horrible. Horrible.
Charlie Kirk is horrible?
Yes, I'm glad he's not here.
You're glad he's dead?
Yes.
Why would you say something like that, ma'am?
Because he was horrible on the campuses, the college campuses. Horrible person.
You know what? I do the exact same thing.
Well,
would you be glad if I would die?
Maybe. I'd have to think about it.
What, if she would die?
I don't know.
Excuse me?
No, I don't know you, but I didn't know him either. But he was not a good person.
He would go to college campuses.
Because they mean it.
He got shot because he wasn't a good person.
People mean it.
I do the exact same thing that he does. I believe, I believe, and
she's an old lady, and she talking about he deserved to die. I'm telling you, that's the way how screwed up America is.
You have got to watch the things you say, because what you just did, that's disgusting. Don't point my finger at her, ma'am. You have got to
don't
watch
point
the
your
things
finger
you
at her
say.
after she just said that you should die too.
And I don't believe that you actually mean that. I think your feelings are heightened right now.
I don't mean it, but
that's why I don't trust people who are emotional. People who are emotional, you cannot trust them. They will say anything inside of their head,
yeah, I'm done with you.
and it will change.
Be done with her. She's pointing a finger in your face. And
Yes, you're a horrible person yourself. And point your finger in my face and coming to this peaceful demonstration. Why would you? And put it in my face.
Go down the road here.
I am utterly speechless right now.
Yeah.
Let this be proof right now. These people are not peaceful just because they're not actually.
And I want to stop it right here. You see how Jamal? You see how that old woman turned everything around? If you were just to listen to that old woman and you had no video and no audio, you would think that what she did was so rude and out of control. This is the way America is when we have out of control liberal women running around, putting out lies on men and destroying our government. This is exactly what it is. She goes ahead and says, hey, do you believe that, Charlie Kirk, blah, blah, and blah? Yeah, I think he should die. Yeah, he was so terrible on the campuses. I mean, my goodness gracious. Asking a question is terrible. She doesn't even know him. She doesn't even know what the heck he was doing. This is the type of stuff that is happening here in America. Brother, what do you say to this?
This type of stuff has always existed amongst Democrats. They have been threatening to kill Republicans, threatening and happy celebrating our deaths for years. The only reason why they're complaining about rhetoric is because we got someone like Donald Trump who hit them back.
Yep.
They talk their rhetoric. You listen to what that old woman said. She was happy what happened with Charlie Kirk.
Yep, she was.
We can't say we happy. We can't say George Floyd been drug free now going on. Let's celebrate George Floyd. He's been drug free for 5 years.
Yeah, you ain't lying about that, boy. We got to give him a present.
So, once again, it piggies back to Nick Fuentes. people are sick and tired of it's okay to do it if you liberal.
Yeah.
It's okay to do it if you black and Hispanic, but you can't do it if you a straight white male, Christian male, or straight white Christian female. So she's saying all that. That's why I celebrated Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I was like, she gone. She done kicked the bucket. Let's do it. They only want the rhetoric to be toned down if it means Republicans are silent when Democrats are deviant. That's their problem. They want Republicans silent and them be allowed to be as deviant, say a most vicious thing, and nothing happens.
Absolutely nothing happens. You know, what she said was absolutely wrong. And instead of her to, apologize and say, you know what, I'm absolutely wrong about that, she, that old lady doubled down. Yep. And then she started to lie. And then the other old lady got her to lie with her too. You get what I'm saying? The other old lady, hey, you get your finger out of her face. And that finger, let me tell you, was worse than what she said. It's crazy. It's crazy. I want to go ahead and show you guys Trump's response to the No Kings rally. All right. He posted an AI video of himself. I want you guys to take a look at this. Here we go. There he is. Look, yep, look at that. Woo! Look at him dropping it. Ah!
I love that's what we
look
love.
At that. Oh, ain't that nice? Man. Man, I'm telling you, that No Kings rally, I'm telling you. See, and Republicans need a rally like this too. Not a no comment. What would you call it? Rally? No taking our money rally? Something. But that AI video, and this is just, scenes of different cities where the No Kings Day protest was. All right. So, I believe if Republicans had a rally like this too, I think it would be very big. We need to have stuff like this as well. I think the last rally we had was that Charlie Kirk. I think that's when everybody got out around the country. Let's go ahead and move forward here. I want to go ahead and speak to you guys about Don Lemon here for a sec. Don Lemon put out a video, and let me tell you something, it's catching a lot of steam right now. A lot of people are sharing it, and he's saying black and brown people should resist and they should buy guns. I want you guys to take a look at what he's saying here. Here we go.
Brown people of all stripes, whether you're an Indian American or a Mexican American or whoever you are, go out in your place where you live and get a gun legally, get a license to carry legally. Because when you have people knocking on your door and taking you away without due process as a citizen, isn't that what the Second Amendment was written for? Go back and read what the Second Amendment says. And perhaps it will knock some sense in the heads of these people who are saying, well, it's all great. I don't believe they're doing it without due process. They're asking people for papers. They're not really beating people up. These people are doing things that are illegal. Nobody is illegal. It is a misdemeanor to...
Wow. So there you go. Don Lemon, he's telling black and brown folks, go ahead go get a legal weapon. If they're trying to come for you, you resist. Jamal, do you think that, Don Lemon in a sense should be, arrested for isn't this like inciting a riot or, inciting, some sort of disobedience, public disobedience? I mean, how is this even responsible?
Easy, Jermaine, because how do I put it? Trying to put it in a way so it won't be Don Lemon. If someone shoots an ICE agent, Don Lemon should be held responsible. He should be arrested for inciting a riot. What I tell you, black folk, gay black men get to say some of the most vicious stuff you can ever say and not be held accountable. And to piggyback what you said earlier when you showed the drone flying over, we had a rally like that in the summer of 2010. The Tea Party movement.
Tea Party movement. Yeah, you know what we did? I forgot about that.
And you know what?
But it ain't been for a while, though.
With the Tea Party member, 15 years ago, you know what they did? They called them racist. They called them bigot, un-American.
They did.
Barack Obama won fairly, and we're just mad. All those people that's turning out in the street are the people who didn't vote for Barack Obama. That's what was said. It was dismissed. They went walking around asking people, did you vote? Did you vote? And when that someone says yes, did you vote for John McCain or did you vote for Barack Obama? And if you said you voted for John McCain, they dismissed you. All those people in there are who? Kamala Harris voters.
Yep.
And Kamala Harris voters will never be satisfied with Donald Trump, what they say. So since they ain't, when stuff like that come out with what Don Lemon say, have the Secret Service come talk to him or FBI come talk to him and just forget him.
Yeah.
Cuss him out first.
Yeah, the Secret Service need to, visit him and give him a good, you know what I'm saying. I think that you shouldn't be allowed to be saying stuff like that, especially with a national movement going on to try to get a lot of these folks out of our country illegally. You're going to put a lot of people in danger. You're going to put law enforcement officers in danger, and you're creating a situation that can turn very deadly. Somebody saying, yeah, you go ahead and arm yourself, and instead of you giving up yourself peacefully, you go ahead and fight. You're going to cause people to, die unwarrantedly. You're going to have casualties. You're going to have a whole bunch of stuff that you just don't want. And I believe if you get a lot of folks like, Don Lemon doing stuff like this, it can turn very ugly very quickly. That's why I think that he should be arrested. You shouldn't be saying stuff like this at all. At all. Let's go ahead and move forward. I want to go ahead here, ladies and gentlemen, and we're getting to close to the end of the show here. I want to go ahead here and speak about the government shutdown. All right. 22 days so far, the government has been shut down. The Democrats are giving Trump an ultimatum. I want you guys to hear it. Take a look.
The Senate is set to vote for a 12th time to reopen the government today as we enter day 22 of the shutdown. That makes it the second longest in U.S. history. President Trump met with Republican lawmakers yesterday, rejecting Democrats' calls for a meeting of their own. Listen.
I would like to meet with both of them, but I set one little caveat. I will only meet if they let the country open.
CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand is at the White House with more for us this morning. Good morning, Natalie. I wonder what the president gains by taking this position, because many federal workers are stretching their dollars right now, bracing for no paycheck this Friday.
That's right, Errol, but both sides really think that they are winning in terms of messaging regarding this shutdown. Both sides so dug in. That's why, there's really no clear indicator of when this is going to end. As you know, Senate Republicans were over here at the White House yesterday for lunch, and they're really united in their messaging that Democratic lawmakers have to reopen the government before having this larger negotiation over health care subsidies, which is what Democrats have been fighting for. Leader Schumer and Jeffries over in Congress have asked the president for a meeting before he heads overseas later this week. But again, the president saying he's not going to be, quote, extorted by Democrats, that they have to vote for a short-term funding measure before speaking to them about health care. Schumer, meanwhile, flagging the date November 1st. That's when he warns that health care premiums could increase substantially if no action is taken on the issue of health care before the end of the month. So again, we are in this holding pattern. Major Garrett on the takeout last night spoke to former Republican House Speaker Kevin McCarthy about this shutdown. Take a listen.
We have never shut the government down over a continuing resolution, which to your viewers, which are highly educated political people, that simply means keep government exactly as it is. So there are no advantages to anybody else. But the reason why they shut down, purely political. It's kind of the reverse where Republicans were in 2013. You've got a Republican in the White House for a second term, so Democrats are upset.
So a 12th vote is expected later today on the Republican short-term funding measure, but again, no signs of movement on either side. One new development, though, Errol, is that lawmakers could soon be voting on dueling measures to pay federal employees. Republicans are pushing forward a bill that would pay essential workers, teeing up a vote as early as this week. Democrats, they're writing their own version to pay all federal workers, including those furloughed. This comes as a number of federal workers are now turning to food banks. That's what we saw here in Washington, D.C. yesterday.
Yeah, and we'll have more on that later this hour. Natalie Brand, thank you very much for those updates.
Wow. So there you go, Jamal. There you go. Democrats and Republicans right now, they have their own bills when it comes down to paying federal workers that have been furloughed. What do you think about federal workers getting paid when there's a government shutdown? Do you think that's immoral, or do you think that they should get paid for speaking and being there? What do you think?
No. Because if you work for the federal government, instead of working in the private sector, then that's the chance and risk you take. People are sick and tired of people working for the federal government, get all the benefits all the times, and just vote in people that's destroying the nation. So no. Now, you should have a right to be in your home, and someone come knock on the door, you turn them around. You should always be free from search and seizure. But the shutdown is because Obamacare needs subsidies to survive. It cannot sustain itself.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a Republican passed thing. No Republican helped them pass that. They passed on a majority Democrat in this House and a majority Democrat based in Senate. So this ain't the Republicans' fault, but the Republicans being held to try to fix it. No, this is not the Republicans' fault, and the Republicans need to tell them to go pound sand.
Yeah, I don't think it's the Republicans' fault at all. This shutdown is because of the inept actions, inept behavior, I should say, of the Congress folks. They're not doing well. They're not, and I don't believe that they should get paid at all. if they're not sitting there and making sure that these things are passed and doing what they're supposed to be doing. They shouldn't. There's a lot of folks who, are looking to get some sort of entitlement, and I'm not talking about just Section 8 or food stamps. We're talking about SSI. We're talking about disability. We're talking about a whole bunch of other programs. All right. So these folks need to get their ass together and make sure that they go ahead and work for the American people. They should get paid when the American people get paid. That's why I think. But, it is what it is right now. I want to go ahead here and show you guys this last video here. And it's speaking about Trump demanding $230 million from DOJ over the past investigations. Liberals are saying that they believe Trump is doing this as a getcha. And he doesn't really need it. And I believe that he's doing this because it is right for him to be doing this. The way that they went after him ruthlessly, and they couldn't bring nothing up except for BS. You get what I'm saying? It is out of control. It is so evil. It is unfounded stuff that was just brought up. It's like it's kind of like when you're breaking up with a person and they go ahead and some people, they can break up and move on, and there's some folks who cannot break up and move on. They want to destroy you when you break up, and this is exactly what it is like dealing with the Democrat Party. I want you guys to listen to this. Here we go. Make sure you guys hit that like button.
Sources tell ABC News that President Trump is pushing for a personal $230 million payout from the Justice Department as compensation for the federal investigations he's faced.
Well, I guess they probably owe me a lot of money for that. Probably, yeah, that's true.
That money would ultimately come from American taxpayers. The president now in charge of the department that investigated him for allegations of Russian meddling in the 2016 election and mishandling of classified documents in 2022, storing them in a ballroom, storage room, and even a bathroom. The president filed 2 claims against the DOJ when he left office, claiming his privacy rights were violated. Those investigations were approved by federal judges with no evidence of malicious prosecution. If the settlement goes through, the president would personally collect nearly $250 million from American taxpayers, an unprecedented personal compensation for the nation's commander-in-chief from the very people who helped elect him into office.
It's interesting because I'm the one that makes the decision, right? And, that decision would have to go across my desk. And it's awfully strange to make a decision where I'm paying myself. In other words, did you ever have one of those cases where you have to decide how much you're paying yourself in damages? But
how much you're paying yourself in damages? Shoot, I jumped that
The Justice
230
Department
up.
officials who would likely sign off on the payment were once President Trump's own personal lawyers, Attorney General Pam Bondi and her deputy Todd Blanche. All of it raising new ethics concerns. One ethics professor telling the New York Times the ethical conflict is just so basic and fundamental, you don't need a law professor to explain it. And Democrats calling the president's demand illegal.
It is definitively illegal. You can't simply transfer $230 million of taxpayer funds because Donald Trump has directed his sycophants within his administration to do just that.
So we asked the Justice Department whether it would be a conflict of interest to have those top DOJ officials who once served as the president's own former personal attorneys sign off on a settlement like this. In a statement, they told us they will continue to follow the guidance of career ethics professionals. They declined to comment any further, Rebecca.
All right, Rachel, thank you.
So Trump, he's in a bind right now. Liberals are saying that what he's doing is illegal. He's taking taxpayer money, and this, that, and the third. Jamal, what do you think about this? Is it right for him to be doing what he's doing?
Yes, he should sue him because they sat there and they lied and they cheated and they tried to do everything dirty to him. Just because he's president don't mean he doesn't have a right to turn around and have to accept abuse. He have to accept abuse. Yeah, he should sue him. And the money he's going to do is going to go toward the ballroom.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
where the money's going to go. So go toward that ballroom he building. But,
they mad about that.
Oh, yes. $230 million. Remember how much money people in Minneapolis settled out of court with George Floyd family?
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Without acknowledging the fentanyl. Without acknowledging the fentanyl and fighting back the police. They settled out of court. And when you came back 3 months later, this is the problem that Democrats are scared of, to coalesce and to put it all together. They love it when Republicans don't do nothing in the face of their attacks. They love to be silent. They want us to be silent while they get to speak. Those days are gone. And I hope they stay dead and gone.
Mm-hmm. You know, Trump, he deserves that money. You know, Trump couldn't use the bathroom without being sued. Literally, you know, he take a step, he's being sued. You know, look at how many times they were even trying to get him for sexual assault. Women were coming out of the woodworks.
Yep.
I'm telling you, coming out of, oh, Trump touched my hand when he gave me a handshake. I think that he sexually molested me. These women are out of control. The what is it called? The liberals who are pushing this type of stuff are out of control. The women that were doing this were out of control. The whole system was out of control. To be honest, he needs to be paid for that. I don't understand how you think that it would be not fair to not pay him for everything that he's been through. You know, just because it's quote unquote the taxpayers' money. You know, look at what they're doing with the taxpayers' money, sending it overseas for gender studies. You know, millions of dollars. I mean, we ain't got to do none of that. You know, they weren't running around and complaining then. So I think it's very, very good that he is able to recoup a lot of that lost time and effort in monetary benefits for what was going on. You know, you just can't get around it. You know, President Trump deserves that money. Last words on this here, sir.
President Trump was elected to do what the Republican base said, not worry about what hurt Democrats' feelings. As long as he keep doing what we say, the base, and not worry about Democrat feelings, we'll be happy. Build a library. Build a library. Build a library.
Yep, absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, that is our show. That is our show for tonight. I want to thank everybody and their mama's mama for coming out, hanging out with us, hitting that like button and sharing and donating as well. I want to thank you guys all. Mind of Jamal, what do you say to our beautiful crowd? Do you have any good words for us, y'all, before we take off?
Everybody, if you, real quick, I'm trying to get something changed here in the United States. And I got a petition, and I have 5 signatures. I need more than 5 signatures, people. I need to at least get this to about 20 to 30. It says no HOA. I said, this is what I created. No HOA should be able to deny any homeowner the right to display the U.S. flag or state flag. Some people live in HOAs, as I know I'm one of them as I battle, that says you can't have an American flag hanging outside. There needs to be something done to where it is known you Is it acceptable to have the American flag, and there's nothing you can do to stop people from flying it? That's what I'm trying to do, is get hopefully President Trump or somebody can see it and they can write that law, so that way HOAs one may be dominated by a liberal can back down and say, no, this ain't right, by getting him some extra help. But on the course we're going down, we're going to continue to lose as a race.
Absolutely. You know, I don't live in an HOA, but I can tell you, I've heard horror HOA stories. Horror ones. And I think that folks need to go ahead and go and sign that to help you out. I have, and I have also shared it on Facebook as well. So I think that'll be a good thing for folks to do. I believe Jamal has put the link in the video here, so make sure you guys go ahead and check that out for him. All right, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for coming out and hanging out with us today on Double Barrel J's Wednesdays. Other than that, you guys take care, have a very, very beautiful night, and we'll catch you guys here later with another edition of Conservative Nation. You guys take care, love ya, and good night.
Please sign the petition.
Yeah, and please sign the petition, all right?
Sign that petition.
Absolutely. Take care.
Cash.